Hello friends, welcome to my channel Q Analysis and I'm your host Prashant Kumar. Today we are going to have this webinar on the topic software testing is equal to loving someone. How come software testing equals loving someone? Yes guys, I know it's pretty interesting and pretty confusing as well, but don't worry. In my coming slides we'll talk about in detail about 20 analogies which I have discussed and collected from different kind of software engineers, professional, IT professional, project managers from different continents with whom I have worked. And based upon my discussion and survey with them, I have come up with 20 analogies which I'm going to share with you in my today's webinar. One more thing, if by now you haven't subscribed my channel, please feel free to like, share and subscribe my channel. And your any kind of feedback is very welcome. So I look forward to any kind of feedback. You can give it in the comment section. Okay, friends? So here we go. The first analogy, one mistake and you have to support it for throughout the life. Yes, friends. So if at all you have a production issue or you miss on any of the requirements which lead to any kind of mistake, and due to which you get a result which is not desirable, and then you have to support it throughout your product life cycle, or else there is very hard time for the users as well as the developers. So software testing, I believe, is very important and it is equivalent to loving. Same way, in case of loving, you commit a mistake and then something goes wrong. You're loving someone and something goes wrong, then you have to support it throughout your life. I hope you understand what I mean. Moving on to our next analogy. If you spend more time doing it than any day-to-day task, people think you are insane. Yes. So you might have seen all those guys and girls who are so much into love. All they can think about is love and loving and can't think of anything else. So if you're spending more time doing it than your day-to-day task, people think you're insane. Same is applicable to software testing as well. If you are doing it too much and you are doing it everywhere, people will think you are insane. With this, we come on to our third slide, which talks about third analogy. Some people are just naturally good at it. Yes, my friends. So if you see around, there are few people who are very good, maybe guy or girl or somebody else, they are very good at software testing. Same way when we see across ourselves in the world, there's so many people who are so good at love and love making or attracting someone, right? So software testing is something on the same lines. Few people, they are naturally just good at it. You can't beat them. You can do it for money or for fun or your passion. Yes, my friends. This line is one of my favorite one. You can do software testing or whatever you want, any kind of job, any kind of profession. This same line is applicable to all those profession and job which people they do. They can do it for money, they can do it for fun, or they can do it for passion. And equally is true for your loving thing, right? So you can do it for money, you can do it for fun, or you can do it for passion, isn't it? Our next analogy, but some people will never realize how good you are or how bad you are until you tell them that they are wasting their time. Exactly. So there are many guys and girls, or there are many professionals who think they are good at software testing or they're bad at software testing, but they don't realize how good or how bad they are until unless they are being told. It is equally to in terms of relationship or in terms of loving someone, right? Until unless your partner tells you how good or bad you are, you'll never get to know, right? That brings us to our next analogy. It often takes another experienced person to appreciate what you're doing. Yes, many times when both the persons are of same experience level, it becomes hard for the other person to judge or to analyze or to come up with to a conclusion that what is the good thing or what is the positive side of the other person's contribution. May it be software testing, may it be loving someone, right? So only when another experienced person is involved in the complete process, it is then they can understand and appreciate the kind of effort the other person is taking, may it be loving someone, may it be software testing. With this, we come to our next slide, which is about, however, there are some folks who pride themselves on their lack of experience. Yes, there are some guys who, even though, or girls who don't have enough experience, may it be in software testing, may it be in loving, they still take a pride in saying that, okay, I'm a rookie, I'm an novice, and novice item, and I'm trying to go ahead and do something which is very wild, take a lot of risk, and go ahead and prove myself. So it is equally true in both the areas. And the next one, it doesn't make any sense at all if you try to explain it in strictly technical terms. Should be a mix and match of theoretical and practical stuff. So guys, you see, just consider a scenario that you are in a relationship or you are loving someone, and then you are just talking about all those things what are seen in movies, what you have read in books, and you're not good in practical stuff, right? Or maybe you are not so spontaneous, you cannot use your brain, and you are just using the theoretical things what you have read or seen. And next to it, you have a scenario when you're doing software testing and you are just applying what all those things you have seen in videos, what all those things you have read in books, or which you got to know by reading, or let's say talking to your friends, and you're not using your own brain. You're not taking your own initiative. There's no point, right? So at times there should be a mix. I'm not saying it is bad. It is okay, but then there should be a mix and match of theoretical and practical stuff for both the areas. May it be loving someone, or may it be software testing. Moving on to our next slide. The next analogy, it talks about there are a few freaks with bizarre practices nobody really is comfortable with. So I hope you can feel it out that may it be technology or may it be loving or making love. There are so many areas in which there are certain people who are like very, very bizarre. They have a lot of bizarre practices. They are, you can call them freaks. They're ready to break the rules, and they're going to take any kind of risky things. They are going to try any kind of risky items, which may involve risking their partner, or risking their job, or risking their status, or even risking the kind of product they are tasting. So many times people are not, the other people in the team, they are not comfortable with such kind of freaks. And same holds true for your loving thing. If you try something and you prove yourself to be a freak and you're going through bizarre practices, there would be somebody who would be liking you for that. But I'm sure that not on an average, a common person is not going to like you for that kind of freakiness. Trust me, guys. Okay. So with this, we move on to our next analogy, which is one little thing going wrong can ruin everything. Yes, my friends. So in case of software testing, there are so many things involved. I have talked about software testing, different kind of software testing. If you're more interested to learn about different kind of software testing and how quality can be provided, can be improved, feel free to watch my other videos from the playlist. You can see the different kind of recordings. I have put different webinar recordings as well over there, wherein I have talked about what all the mistakes which can ruin your automation, which can ruin your system testing, which can ruin your functional testing. How can your product go wrong when it is rolled out into production? There's so many things which can lead into different kind of issues and problems if all the things they are not taken care of. A very small thing can lead to a big issue or big problem. And it is very true in case of software testing, and same is true in case of loving someone. Isn't it? A simple mistake, a very small mistake, and then you end up into breakup, so you end up into something which is not tolerable, right? So you should be aware and confident, and you should keep things in your control and avoid to do any kind of mistake if you want everything to be in place in a good manner. With this, we come to our next slide, which is it is great way to spend any free time you have. Yes, if you have any free time and you like it and you're passionate about it, I guess you won't find a better way to spend your time, isn't it? So just imagine. I have seen guys, like I have seen people who are into, it's just like listening to music. You love music and you're a music person, and then whenever you get a free time, you're always into music, right? Same way, if you love something, if you love someone, whenever you get free time, you're always thinking about that person. You are always trying to make that person happy and make that person feel loved. Same way, if you're a software tester and you're passionate about quality, as and when you get time, you're always busy in improvising the quality, assuring the quality, and analyzing the issues or analyzing the plus points, minus points, and how can you increase, how can you have an optimum quality of the product or service which you're going to use or provide it to your users, right? So it's a great way to spend your free time, trust me. Our next slide, it talks about once you get started, you will only stop because you're tired or you're bored. Uh, I have seen folks who are software testers and they used to test things manually, and then after some point of time they got bored or they found it tiring doing the same repetitive task, and they ended up into something else like automation testing or performance testing or trying something else, programming. Same happens in case of loving someone. You're with a partner and you love your partner and you're very passionate, you're giving your 100%, but at times if you're tired of someone and if you're getting bored, then you end up into a new partner or new kind of possibility, right? So I believe software testing and loving someone, they had got a lot in common, isn't it? Let's check it out in our next slide, which talks about everyone acts like they are the first person to come up with a new technique. Yes. So whenever you figure out that you have done something extraordinary and you have figured out a way, let's say to improve the quality or software, while software testing, you have come up with something which is extraordinary and it is a new technique as per you, you tend to discuss it with everyone, you tend to showcase it, you tend to tell it to everyone, you tend to glorify it as much as you can, and you feel so happy about it. Same happens in terms of loving someone. If you come up with a technique like you can satisfy your partner, or let's say you have done something extraordinary for your partner, then you tend to, or you're loving someone and you have done something extraordinary for that person, then you tend to feel like on the seventh heaven, I have got a new technique, I have done something which nobody till now have ever done in this universe for their partner, right? So I guess it is the same kind of feeling. The kind of high you feel in your mind is same. May it be software testing, may it be loving someone. And then in our next slide, we are going to talk about this another analogy, which is everyone who has done it successfully pokes fun at those who haven't. Yes, my friends, this is something which is funny but very true. Anyone who has done it successfully, you know what I mean. Anyone who is successful in what they are doing, if they're loving someone, if they're successful with that and the partner is satisfied and they have a high quality of loving thingy, or they have done some software testing and the quality is too good, it cannot be challenged, and they've successfully achieved it, then they start making fun of others, they start poking others who haven't done it successfully. This is so very true and so very common. Haven't you faced it? Do let me know if you have faced such kind of situation in past, or if you have uh, some kind of experience on the same lines. Feel free to share it in the comment section, and it would be very nice to know such kind of things, because it's all about the community thingy. What I learn, I share with you, and whatever you have, you can share it with me and with other subscribers, whosoever you want to. So please feel free to share it. Beginners do a lot of bragging about their first time. Does it really requires explanation? No, I don't think so. May it be a beginner in case of loving someone, or may it be a beginner in case of software testing? Yes, they feel they are the champs. and they do a lot of bragging. I hope you understand what I mean. So with this, we come on to the next slide, which talks about our another analogy, which is you will miss it if it has been a while. Yes, I have seen it happening with myself. I don't know about you, but it happens to me as well. If I don't see it for a long time, like for example, if I'm working and I don't find an interesting work, or for example, if I'm into some other kind of managerial work, or may it be something reporting work, and I'm not in touch with software testing, if I'm not doing some kind of testing, I'm not finding some critical bug, I really miss it. And same is true when it comes to loving a partner or loving someone. If you are truly in love and it has been a while, then for sure you're gonna miss it. Sometimes it is fun to use new techniques. Yes, as I said in the previous, there are few people who are very uh, freaky and they use different kind of bizarre techniques. But it is them. If you talk about me, or if you talk about the survey results, I asked so many people, and all of them, they are ready to learn new techniques and use it. And as a software professional, or may it be a normal human being, we should always be ready to learn and implement new things and new techniques. Then only, may it be loving someone, or may it be software development or testing, with new techniques we'll achieve new and high rate of qualities, high range of qualities. So I believe it is fun to use new techniques. The next slide, it talks about once you get addicted to it, you keep on trying it more often and more variations. Yes. Once you get addicted to it, once you are happy about it, the kind of work you are doing, and the kind of person you're loving in, and the ways in which you are loving it, and you are getting addicted to it, then you want to try doing it more often. You want to try different kind of variations. I hope you understand. And same is so very true when it comes to your software testing or development methodologies. What all analogies I have mentioned over here, one point, my friends, all those analogies are very much true in case of, I guess, most of the technical things which people they do in this IT world, right? It's not typically confined to software testing, but since I'm into software testing and quality assurance, so I have thought in terms of those lines. But I think this all these points, they are very much valid, may it be any domain, or may it be any stream of software development, right? So once you get addicted, you then start trying, okay, let's say business testing, let's say risk-based testing, let's say automation testing using Python, or learning new language like Java and implementing it, or performance testing, REST API testing. There's so many things which you can try. There's so many variations you try. All you need to do is to get addicted to it. Our next slide, it talks about the analogy. There is always someone willing to write, talk, and guide about the only right way to do things. Yes, my friends. This is something which is so positive about this IT or this personal life profile. Like, if you're really interested to learn, you can go ahead and ask someone. It may happen you get a right guy or you get a wrong person who is advising you. But let's say, if on the positive side, if you get a right kind of person, and there are always few people who are always ready to guide you. They're going to tell you, they're going to write, they're going to talk. You can consider me also as one of them, and they'll tell you how to do the right things. So this is the fun. This is the fun part of learning. And if you don't know how to learn, there's always someone to guide you. May it be in terms of loving or software testing. With this, we come to the end of our presentation. And this is your host, Prashant Kumar. This is me. I'm a QA analyst and a software testing enthusiast, computer engineering graduate, PG specialization in management from Harvard University, ICMS Sydney. And I'm having almost 15 plus years of experience. I started as a Java developer, business analyst. I worked as a test consultant and quality head at major IT firms, investment banks, and startups across US, UK, Switzerland, Germany, and India. Please feel free to get in touch with me in case you have any query solutions or mentoring or consulting opportunity. I do provide mentoring and consulting services to all my users who need my help in order to change their job, or they want to have a career path, or if in case they're looking for a job abroad, maybe on site, you can take my consulting and mentoring services. With this, we come to the end of this presentation. Thank you, friends, and see you in my next presentation. Bye-bye.